guys, welcome back to another video. In this one we'll be going over something simple, and this video should be very quick, as we're going over how to import files and how we could use different files in like one main file. Last time we went over while loops, and hopefully you understood while loops. So yeah, let's go right into it. So let me explain what importing is. So basically, importing is where we get code from another file, and we use it in a different file. So let's say we had another file called utils.py, so utility.py, and inside utility.py we have functions where we do some basic math equations, and if you wanted some math equation inside hello.py, we would import it. And why we do this is, if we keep all our code in one file, that would be seen as unclean and untidy, as then we'll have to scroll up and down just to find a specific function or a class. I'll cover class in the next video, I think, but it'll be untidy to find specific functions for now, and that's why we keep it separate. So like how you keep food in your fridge separate, you don't keep your meat next to your vegetables, but you know, we keep our files separate and we have one file that's the main. So let's just create the main.file. Let me just delete projects. You can delete by right clicking and then delete, and we'll delete hello world, and we'll call the file main.py, and there won't be anything main.py yet, but let me create another file called utils.py. And how we set up a import is, actually we need to set up a function first. So we need something to import, because we can't simply import variables like name, and we can't simply import stuff like variables or while loops or for loops. So it's functions we can import. So we'll create a function and we do name, and we'll get actually we'll write this user, and then we name here, and then we do return name. We'll change it up a bit, we'll do name.title. So let's try this out here first, and print user, and then we do allow. Alright, so we run this here, have this run, and we've got my name here. But let's say if we wanted to use this function in main.py, we can't just simply do user print user and then we do Bilal, because Python will say undefined variable user. So how we need to do it is, we need to import from the utils.py the user function. So how we do that is by, let's just say we do import first, and then we do user. We do from utils import user. So we start from. So from is looking for a directory or a file, so it's gonna go to a file or folder, and then if we import, and this is what we import a class or we import a function. And here we're importing a function, and you can see here we don't do utils.py, we just do utils, so we don't need to add the .py at the end. And now we try this in main.py and it works. Let me clear this quickly, and we can switch this up to something different, like Jack, and then we just do J, and we do Jack. And let's say if we had utils.py in a folder named files, and then we drag utils.py here, and then now utils.py is in a folder, and we run this and it says non-module name utils. So what we need to do is go files, clear, what was it, files, yeah, files dot, we don't do /, we do files dot. So files, and then inside of the file directory or folder we look for the file utils. So we clear this, we run again, and we get the utils.py, but let's get rid of this folder for now. Delete this, delete that, and now we're left with this. But let's go back to here. Let's say we had another not folder, file called character, so car short for character, and then we have a function def user, and then this time we take name, age, and let's just say height, and then we return f here. So we've created a function here. You may have noticed we've called this function user, and we've called this function user. I'll get back to why I've done that, but let me just run this to see if it works. So we print user, give it a name, we'll do Bilal, give it an age, we'll do 15, and give it a height, we'll do, I'm not really sure my height in centimeters, I think it was 65 centimeters. Run this, and we get Bilal is 15 years old and 165 centimeters tall. Now we've got a working a function which is in a different file called character. So let's try to import this. So we need to get rid of files because this doesn't exist anymore. So from char import user. Okay, now you may see we've got two users in this file, and whatever we want to call this user function will get overridden. So since we've imported this second, this one gets overridden, so we need to give this some parameters. So we'll do like 18, and we'll do 180, I guess. Clear this, run, and we've got this. But let's say if we wanted this user function to work rather than this one, well, how do we do that? Well, we can give these temporary names inside the main.py. So we can do from utils import user, we can keep that the same, but from char import user as char, char, we'll just do char for short. So instead of user, this function will be called char now. So user will be named char, although user is named user here. We've told in this specific file main.py to rename user to char. So if we call char and then we run this, we'll get the same thing, but now we can also run the initial user. So user Bilal, and we run this and we get Bilal, and we clear, and that's pretty much imports. You could also import packages, and I'm not really going to show you packages in detail, but I think you can go to a website called Pi.org or something where you can look up for packages. Some packages I can think of on top of my head are like Pillow, um, and Beautiful Soup and other stuff. But how you would install packages is you would do pip install and something like Pillow. But I wouldn't recommend doing pip because you would need a virtual environment first. But I'm not gonna go into virtual environments. You could look that up in a different video. I may make a virtual environment video in the future, but that's it. That's all for imports. We've managed to import functions. Let me quickly show you an example of a class. Although you've never seen a class, let me show an example of a class. Um, so if you get confused looking at this, that's perfectly understandable. So let's do class, and it's gotta be a capital U, U, and then we do def initialize self, and we'll do name, age, height. Def info, I guess, self, and then we'll get the return f, and then self dot name is self dot age years old, and is self dot height years tall. So we've created a class, and remember we've called this class a user with a capital U, so we'll do a capital U here. Although capital U user and lowercase u user are different, I'm still going to call it char, so we don't get confused, because we can easily get confused from user and capital user. So we do a capital user. Well, actually first we need to initialize the class, so we'll do u1 equals user, oh wait, no, it'll be char, and then we'll do the name of Blau, do 15 again, and we'll do, and this should be string actually, I mean in, and this should be in, and we'll do, I think I did 155 last time, and then we'll print u1 dot info. Let's run that. Let me just get rid of this actually. Run this, and we get basically all the info inside here. And let's say if we wanted my name, so we do dot name. We run this and we get my name. Let's say height, and we get my height. And that's basically the great thing about classes. I think I'll be going over classes next video, but just know we can import functions and classes from other files, and we can give it a temporary name. Although this is called capital U user and it's not called char here, in main.py it's called char, and in any other files it won't be called char. And we got a function user, and that's pretty much it. I hope you found this video helpful. It's gonna help you out when you're working with multiple files, or when you're doing big projects like making websites or machine learning. And remember, using imports is a really clean way of keeping your code, and when you come back to it you can read it easily. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you next.